Hello Virgos and welcome. My name is Melissa. This is my channel of New Direction and this is a reading for September 1st to 15th for the Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever else you find that in your chart. Or for any cross watchers, I guess, who are watching maybe for somebody else in your life. Welcome to you guys too. All right, so let's get right into this. We are going to start with the Energy Oracle deck here and pull just a couple different energies for a couple different questions. Let's do some housekeeping though before we do that, okay? I am outside. I do have a very busy family, so sometimes we are interrupted and I do apologize for that. My horses are in the field behind us there, if you can see them. I have recently just embarked on quite the new journey. I will actually upload a video here on YouTube, but I also recommend if you head over to my Instagram page, which will be linked in the description box here, and check out some of my distance healing sessions as well as Reiki sessions, like personal Reiki sessions. I use horses actually in our sessions, in your distance video or in distance sessions as well as personal sessions. Horses have been a huge part of my life. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to point that out there. All right, let's get into this. Virgos. Oh, I cuss a little bit. I feel like I should probably mention that too. If you are totally against cussing, there is your heads up and your warning. I have been working on it, but I don't know. Sometimes I get right into it, guys, and then I just can't help myself. All right, let's get this going. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising for the first 2 weeks of September 1st to 15th. The Virgos, the Virgos, the Virgos. One last shuffle. Okay, current state here for the Virgos. Door to romance, Virgos. The energy of the shadow. Energy of the shadow. A man holding his heart. The light. What is the light needed for the shadow here, Spirit? All tied up. Energy of the divine. Feminine. Goddess in the moon. Energy of the divine masculine here. Oh, little bug, don't bite me. That was rude. Well, isn't that something? All right. On the bottom of the deck here, we have hostilities and 5th chakra. Defensiveness or some sort of hostility here towards communication. It could be how you're communicating to others. It could be how others are communicating to you, how you're communicating to yourself, or even to, to the universe around you. Are you being authentic with your communication, or are you being hostile, defensive, Financial constraints and a man holding a coin is behind those two. So it could have something to do with some sort of, work issue here, some sort of financial issue, knowing your worth, standing up to, communicate your worth maybe. Okay, so I had some horrible little bug just bite me on the shoulder. Okay, well, let's get into this. So the current state here was the door to romance, which is interesting in itself enough, but here we are. The door to romance. What you got on the go here, Virgos? The door to romance. What is this current state in this door to romance? Change of directions. Ooh, it could also be talking about travel, which for some of you, if you are doing, If you were doing a long distance relationship, 2020 is a very hard year to be doing a long distance relationship, especially if it's out of country or out of things. But look here, this could be talking about a change in direction in this door of romance. Maybe it's talking about, closing one door and walking into the next. Maybe it's talking about maybe you're single and this is talking about the change of direction where you're actually like being able to, or going, you've been single and now this is a change in direction to actually opening this door. And for some of you, this door of romance can be talking about some sort of change, some sort of move, some sort of travel within it. The Magician, look at that, the power here. And the Emperor, wow, look at that. So whatever this door to romance is, and you have to remember, in general readings like this, it is very important that you put things where they apply in your life. Okay, please don't ever try to apply things to your life that do not fit. But this current state, this door to romance, is almost like you've got the change of the direction here, the acknowledgement of the power that is within your hands, and the Emperor, the decision, the deciding, that kind of clarity, and almost like just that, the steadiness, the solidness, and okay, this is where we're going with this. This is how we're doing this. So whether that is a move, whether that is a change, or or it's just like whatever the change is here. The two of Wands is talking about the change in direction. So whatever change of direction that is for you, there is the acknowledgement here that you have the power within your hands to change it for the way that you best seeing it fit into your life. Okay? The shadow energy of this, look at that. A man holding his heart. This is our masculine side. Now you don't need to be the one watching this. I mean, you don't have to be the masculine watching this, and you don't have to be the feminine. This is really talking about the masculine within this situation. And as a challenge, I find that it's almost for some of you, it can be that this masculine is having a hard time coming forward, bearing the heart, bearing the vulnerability here. Look at, Two of Cups and the Five of Swords. Okay? To me, it's almost as though as a challenge, it's this masculine energy kind of really almost doubting and understanding how this Two of Cups is going to be, right? Because there's some sort of kind of like negative talk here. That's what the Five of Swords is. See this guy in the back? He's done them wrong. Like there's blood here. He can't see. He's bleeding, but he thinks he's won. Okay, it's about hostile kind of tense communication here. Okay, and the Two of Cups is talking again about some sort of romance. It's talking about the blending here of two solid good energies. Okay? For some of you, there could be some really tense communication. That can be what the shadow energy is talking about, is this tense communication here for you when it comes to this Two of Cups. But look, the light to overcome that tense communication with that Two of Cups was the all tied up energy here. And the all tied up energy, look at the butterflies in this. Look at the moonlight in this. You see the way forward, and the transformation needed here is illuminated for this girl. She understands that through transformation, that's what the moonlight's doing here. It's illuminating that through transformation, she can free herself from the vines that she has created, and that is what the light of this situation is. If there is darkness here, whether you are the masculine who is feeling afraid to go forward and offer that heart, maybe there have been people who have done you wrong in the past, or maybe you're just like, I don't know, maybe this just isn't for me. I don't know. Okay. But remember that if you are going to be actually open about love, you must be vulnerable. All tied up. What's this energy of the light? Yep, the Star. Look at that. For some of you might be in some sort of separation mode here. This all tied up was the Star, the Fool, the Six of Wands, and the Inner Strength. Okay, and the Star to me is almost in this. It's almost this need to connect to the divine. Okay, to me, it's that connection to the higher. If you're feeling that, whatever's going on in your life, that connection right now is struggling, whether it's because there's a distance in this relationship, or this relationship, this romance is struggling within itself right now. There is a need here to trust in a higher, to begin new, because there is, you see, this trusting in the higher here, it liberates you into a self-worthiness. It liberates you into a self-strength. Hi, girls.
I have to shower. Yes.
Probably. Okay.
I'm just gonna steal the magazines.
You can take that inside, please.
I'm stealing all the magazines.
Okay.
You have a bang thing.
Okay, put it inside with the rest of us. This is why I apologize in advance for interruptions, my friends. This all tied up. The light that works towards this is the releasing. It's the faith here. The faith and the trust that you need to go forward in some sort of new self journey here. Because it's self-liberation and self-inner strength that actually release you and free you from this tied energy. Maybe you're walking away from this man holding a coin, and it's some sort of toxic relationship that hasn't really worked out in the past. And it's you here acknowledging that you are the power within yourself. Okay? For some of you, that could be the case. Absolutely. But this light towards this light to conquer whatever this shadow energy is in your life. It's the light that you must embrace your journey. You must embrace your self-liberation here. You must start this journey as the fool on your own and find your inner strength. Because no sort of partnership can give you that kind of strength. That strength comes with your connection to the divine. That's it. No humanly partnership can bring you that. Our relationships go much better when we, love the Lord before the relationship. The energy of the divine feminine here, and when I'm talking about the divine feminine, I'm not necessarily talking about just the feminine in our lives, okay? Yes, for sure, you can definitely add that to it, but the divine feminine is also talking of your inner knowing. And for each of these readings, it's important to not only acknowledge it maybe as how it fits in your relationship, but also how it fits within you. And the inner knowing here is the goddess of the moon, because the goddess of the moon is talking about listening to the intuition, listening to the intuition. It's your connection again to the divine and trusting that, within the shadows, the Lord is still bringing you the prosperity that you need. Right? He is still listening to your prayers. Things are still being heard. The circumstances, just because you can't see them, does not mean that they're not working out in your favor. Whether you see it at the time as your favor or not, the goddess in the moon is that faith within that divine. And the inner knowing here is that knowing. It's that faith within that knowing, The faith in the faith, guys. The Eight of Swords, okay? I feel as though there's been this place of trapped, and maybe for some of you, you're still feeling this place of trappedness, but there's a need here to change your perspective, and whether that has to do with the divine or whatnot, but I almost feel that you here are keeping yourself trapped in a place of, confined thinking to me, okay? The Hanged Man is calling you to put yourself in this place of surrender, to be able to acknowledge that you need to look at things from a different point of view here. Okay, that's what needs to be changed here. You are trapped, but you're only trapped because you refuse to look away from the mirror. If you would look at the mirror and just acknowledge, wait, that's my reflection, and then change your view on it. And oftentimes, I think we put that into some sort of, into our spiritual journey, It's almost as though we feel trapped. And whether it's because we don't like the way that certain religious outlines look and we don't fit into those boxes of religion, so therefore we think, oh, well, the divine can't be for me, right? Well, that's not true, because the divine's bigger than a spiritual box, so you can't put them in a box. That doesn't work, okay? But there is a need here to really address this goddess of the moon, and why it is you feel like you cannot trust that the things that are meant for you are going to just unfold. Have faith. Please put yourself in that place. Allow the faith to just show you that, the The divine is here to bring you in the wonderful, bountiful things of life if you open yourself up to them, embrace it. So the divine masculine energy of this was the sixth chakra, the clarity. Isn't that interesting how it's like, this intuition and then the action that's actually required here, again, is the intuition? See how that worked, Virgos? And the sixth chakra is talking about your third eye. It's talking about that clarity that comes with the intuition. See that third eye between there? He is able to see on both sides of the veil. His purview is much bigger because he sees, oh, how do I describe that? He can just see beyond, because he has faith to see beyond, I guess, is kind of how that works. But the energies here that came out, the tarot here that came out was the Hermit, the Sun, and the Nine of Cups. You see, because our intuition takes us, we must put ourselves in this place. Because until you actually put in the work to do this self-healing and this, walk this path by yourself down here, walk this kind of soul journeying path here, until you can actually, go through that hermit phase and, and actually actually acknowledge that you need that place for just you in spirit. It's hard to listen to your intuition because we need to connect and really ground ourselves in our faith. Okay? Faith. Okay? Faith. What is your faith? You see, because only with this grounding, only with this clarity where we can find the light that actually comes from within inside of us. When we can sit quietly away from the noise of the world. When we can sit quietly away from the noise of the world and just allow Spirit's light to shine from within us. There's the abundance and the self-emotional fulfillment. You see? Your intuition here is guiding you to this place of self-peace, where you can just take that step back and be like, okay, what does the divine look like in my life? Who is the Lord to me, or whatever that is to you, right? Our spirituality is a personal journey, guys, okay? It is. It's a personal journey between just you and the Lord. The advice that was the actions required right now are the angel of strength in the fourth chakra, in the heart chakra, because it's talking about the inner strength and then the heart of the matter here. The heart chakra is your chakra of love, And you must show up to love yourself. You must show up and be sympathetic to the strong person that you are. Don't beat yourself up over the things that happened in your past that you didn't know any better, so therefore you did those things. Or maybe the things you did know, but you did anyway, whatever. Whatever the case was, the lesson needed to happen. But this action required is discussing following your heart chakra, following your love, but having the inner strength to know that you have the power to do that. The Nine of Pentacles, the self-fulfillment, and the Eight of Cups. Because I almost feel here for some of you where, maybe this relationship in the beginning of this toxic relationship, the actions required here are this inner strength and then staying true to your heart. The Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Because for some of you, there is a call here that it's time to walk away. It's time to really embrace this journey for your own growth and acknowledge that where you are going, you need to leave the ship behind. For some of you aren't walking out of a relationship by any means, but you're definitely, walking away from that maybe question, from that, how do I describe that? You're walking away from almost from the ego side of this and actually embracing this on a much deeper level. It's almost as though the whole call for spirituality is being braced on a deeper level here. The advice was the door to personal healing and happiness, and the yin. Because the advice here is that it's time to actually look at self-healing. It's time to move forward here with the yin of your life for now. And the yin is our thoughts. It's our water essence of life. It's our deep emotions. The advice here is it's time to do some of this it's time to do some of this healing and happiness work. It's time to really focus on our spiritual journey for right now, Our action sides have been so strong and boastful for so many years, and yet, how often do we actually put that work into balancing our water sign? Our action sign has overpowered us for so long. But really, if we're going forward as whole beings, we have to be balanced, do we not? Look at that. The chariot. Because only you have the power within your hands here to actually steer this chariot in a different direction. Only you have the power to actually embrace the chariot and say, you know what? This is the way I'm going. Look at that. 7 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. Maybe you don't even know what and where this chariot's going yet. But there is a call here to really embrace the chariot regardless. To take the reins and to steer this in the direction that you want to go. Okay, do not let anybody's negativity or anybody's, whatever they are afraid of. Don't let their bullshit hold you back. Center in on your being, your knowing. And guide yourself through this, It might not be a step that you show to everybody right now. That's fine. The rest of the world doesn't need to know right now that you're going through this personal healing. Make sure the ones who really truly care for you and are there for you, they know. But this healing is for you and the divine anyway. It's so that you can get to the place of sitting here in this place so solid in who you are. I love the lesson. The lesson here is the patience of this all. And I think that is such a beautiful lesson because patience is that reminder that in order for life to really, sometimes we ask for all these prayers and we put our limitations on them. We put our timelines on them. And by putting our timelines on the way that we see things unfolding, we sell ourselves short. We take some of those, goodnesses away from ourselves because, well, for things to work out, the divine has to put them in order. Look at that, the 8 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. Patience. This spark and this happiness and all of the things that you are praying and hoping for will come to be in their time. But first you have to allow Spirit to let the rest of it unfold. It needs to all unfold within its time. So that, when you get to the place where you're ready to, to meet and be with somebody else, they are there in their journey too. So that it's a union that is compatible and not one that's one-sided, right? All right, let's pull a moon card. Card for the Virgos here. What's the moon cycle for the Virgos to keep in mind? Expect powerful change. And nothing is yet set in stone. Look at that. Expect powerful change and nothing is yet set in stone. So how do you see that going then? How do you see yourself changing this? Virgos, that was a beautiful reading. Take care of yourselves and until next time, bye now.